Okay, so we'll continue where we have left off. So here we are getting your current in parallel circuits to be this much, where your final current is M into N into E by R load plus, okay, M times R load plus N times small r. So this is your mixed grouping of cells. Now we are going to utilize these results to get something else. What is that? I will tell you. So I will erase this. Now next is your condition for maximum current. Okay, so what is that you are getting is, you are going to get your current value as M into N into E by, okay, M times R load plus N times small r. This is your current value. Okay, right? So now this is your current value. Now what is that we are going to do is, okay, we are going to calculate, okay, maximum current condition. Now when will you have maximum current across this load resistance is what I am going to calculate next. Now for that, okay, let total number of cells be N. Okay, let total number of cells is equal to capital N. Then your capital N is equal to M into N. Okay, in matrices, what is the total number of elements means, what will you write? So number of rows into number of columns. So here you have totally M rows and in each row N cells. So total number of cells is M into N. Now if you take your current value, your current is M into N is what? Capital N into E by, okay, I can rearrange this M can be written as small n, capital N by small n into R load plus N into R. So your current I will become, okay, capital N small n into E by N times R load plus N square times small r. Okay, this is your current value. Okay, now for current to be maximum, okay, whenever a maximum value of a function occurs, okay, then its first derivative is 0. So for maximum current, what happens is your di by dn is equal to 0. Okay, so that will give you d by dn of, okay, numerator is small n into capital N into E by capital N times R load plus N square times small r is equal to 0. Now this is in the form of U by V rule. This is U, this is V. So V du, so that will give you N times R load plus N square into R times derivative of numerator with respect to N. So that will give you N into E if you take the derivative minus capital N into small n into E by derivative of denominator is this capital N into RL is 0. Okay, because this is constant. Derivative of N square R is 2NR whole divided by, okay, N times capital R plus N square R whole square is equal to 0. Now send this to other side, okay, and take any out. So you are going to get N times capital R plus N square R minus, if you take capital N out, this will become minus 2 small n square R is equal to 0. Okay, I have used derivative of U by V rule. I have simplified directly. I have just written the derivatives form directly. So that will give you N times R load minus N square R is equal to 0. N times capital RL is equal to N square into R. Now what is N means? Okay, M into N times R load is equal to N square into R. N will cancel off. So what is that you are going to get is, okay, for maximum current, okay, for maximum current I, okay, your M by N ratio is equal to, okay, small r by capital R. Okay, so that means you have to divide the cells. That means if I give you, for example, 48 cells, and if I ask you under what condition I can produce maximum current, means there are lot of ways. 24 cells and 2, 8 into 6, 12 into 4, 16 into 3. Okay, then some other, okay, lot of possibilities are there for these 48 cells to be connected in different combinations in mixed grouping. But maximum current occurs when you divide this cells ratio in terms of internal resistance. So now if I give you some resistance value, you divide this M and N ratio in terms of this R and R, so that your M into N is, your M into N should be equal to total number of cells. Okay, this is your first condition. Your second condition is your ratio should be such that your M by N is equal to small r by capital R. Okay, under this ratio, if you split these cells, then there is possibility of having maximum current. Okay, now based on this we will do different problems in the problem solving session, but hope you have understood it. Okay, now for example, if I give you, okay, let us say I am giving you, you have 48 cells itself, okay, as an example, and let us say your small r is 6 and your capital R is 12, wait, 8, then how many cells in a, how many rows, means according to my logic 6 into 8 is 48 and your 6 by 8 is small r by capital R. Okay, so you should have small m by small n is equal to 6 by 8 and your mn is equal to 48. So that means you should have 6 rows, okay, and 8 cells in each row. Okay, so depending upon whatever numbers are given, okay, as an example I have just listed it here, but depending upon whatever is asked in the question, you do it accordingly. Okay, all right, hope you have understood what I have explained. Now coming to the next part, okay, the last part is if you are given two cells E1 R1. Now so far we have done identical cells calculation. Now what is that I am going to do is I am going to take two different cells of EMFs E1 R1, internal resistance E2 R2, and I am going to calculate the equivalent configuration, okay, equivalent cell whose equivalent EMF and equivalent internal resistance is what I am going to calculate. Now your next idea is, let us say you are given two cells, okay. Now in many times big problems can be solved easily if you have understood this. So let us say you have two cells, one cell's EMF is E1, internal resistance R1. Now one more cell is there, EMF E2, internal resistance R2. Now I have connected in parallel like this to some load resistance. Now what is my target is, I am going to replace these two with a single cell whose EMF is equivalent is E equivalent, whose internal resistance is R equivalent. So obviously it should produce same amount of current. So far in all the situations that I have explained, I have taken only a single cell, okay, I have taken only a single identical cells. There are no variation, there is no variation in EMF and internal resistance. So now I am going to replace these two cells with a single equivalent cell. So obviously that single equivalent cell will produce same amount of current. So if this is taking I1 current, this will automatically take I minus I1 current. So your equivalent also should produce same amount of current like this through the load resistance. Okay. Now what is the advantage is, when big questions are given, you can directly replace two cells which are parallel like this with a single cell, or else what is that you have to do? You have to take Kirchhoff's law in this loop, Kirchhoff's law in the bottom loop, and then solve those two equations. But if you remember the end result of this calculation, In big problems, you can directly replace it with a single cell. So that cell's equivalent EMF and internal resistance is what I am trying to calculate here. So now I will try to apply Kirchhoff's law and then get the results. So first I will take, okay, this is loop 1 like this, and let us say, yeah, I will go through second loop once, okay, then I will get an equation only in terms of I. Here you will have a single equation in terms of I. So your single equation in terms of I is equivalent EMF minus I times R equivalent minus I times R load is equal to 0. This is your single equation for equivalent part. So now the question comes, what is I1? So now to get the I1 part, first what I will do is, I will try to apply Kirchhoff's law in the top part as well as bottom part. So now within this loop, if I try to apply Kirchhoff's law, okay, loop, top loop, loop 1, okay, plus E1 minus I1 R1 minus E2 plus I minus I1 into R2 is equal to 0. Okay, your Kirchhoff's law is along this way. Okay, so plus E1 minus I1 R1 minus E2, okay, plus I minus I1 into R2 is equal to 0. So that will give you E1 minus E2, okay, minus I1 times R1 plus R2 minus, sorry, plus I times R2 is equal to 0. I have just rearranged the terms, okay. So I have taken I1 common, so I have got this much. So from here, your I1 times R1 plus R2 is E1 minus E2 plus IR2, okay, right? Hope there is no doubt. So from here, what is your I1 means? Your I1 is E1 minus E2 plus IR2 by R1 plus R2. Okay, this you are getting it as I1 from loop 1. Now coming to the second loop, okay, I will try to apply Kirchhoff's law in the second loop. Okay, if I try to apply Kirchhoff's law in the second loop, okay, instead of traveling through this, I will travel through the top one. That will make my calculation easy. Okay, so my point is, I will travel, this is your E2R2, I am going to travel like this. Okay, your second loop is that way. So in such a case, your loop 2 is, okay, plus E1 minus I1 R1. So I1 is, okay, in the next step I will substitute I1 small r1 minus I times R load is equal to 0. Okay, so now this will give you E1 minus I1. I1 is E1 minus E2 plus I times R2 by R1 plus R2 times R1 minus I times R load is equal to 0. So I will cross multiply. So I am going to get E1 R1 plus E1 R2 minus, okay, E1 R1 minus E2 R1 minus I R1 R2 by R1 plus R2 minus I times R load is equal to 0. So plus E1 R1 minus E1 R1 will cancel off. So you are going to get E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2 minus I times R1 R2 by R1 plus R2 minus R load is equal to 0. This is what you are getting from this equation. Now you compare these two equations. Okay. So I need space, copy it down. Pause the video clip and then copy this stuff. So from this part, okay, this part is your equivalent EMF. This part is your equivalent internal resistance because they are in parallel. So this part will give you equivalent internal resistance. Okay, right? So your R equivalent is R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. Your equivalent EMF is E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2. Okay, so I am erasing it. Okay, I need space. Hope you have understood it. Okay, hope there is no doubt. I have done nothing new. Within this loop I have calculated equivalent, Kirchhoff's law once. Then through the bottom and through the topmost cell I have calculated Kirchhoff's law once again. Okay, now I am erasing this stuff. So from here, okay, from this equation comparison, okay, we are going to get your equivalent EMF is, okay, you got E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2. Now I am going to rearrange this. Okay, what is that I am going to do is I am going to divide by R1 by R2. Divide by R1 R2 in the numerator and denominator. So that will give you E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 whole divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 is your equivalent EMF. Okay, right? So this is your final end result. So when you have two cells like this, you can replace it with a single cell whose EMF is this much. Now an important thing that I want you to remember and where many people will get confused is, now how to decide the direction of terminals. So in these two, for these two cells, your positive terminal is on the left and negative terminal is on the right. So here also you will have positive terminal to the right and negative terminal to the left. Now if cells are connected in reverse polarity, that means let us say bottom cell is connected in reverse manner, then you have to keep a minus sign in between. And coming to the direction, okay, coming to the direction, check which is big, E1 by R1 is big or E2 by R2 is big. If E1 by R1 is big, then give the direction for, give the direction same as that of E1. Okay, in case of reverse polarity, okay, that means you don't have cells supporting or cells pumping out current in same direction. Okay, getting my point? If currents are in opposite direction, look at this E1 by R1 value and E2 by R2 value. Whichever is big, in that direction you keep the positive terminal. Okay, according to the bigger value of E1 by R1, you have to keep it. Okay, so in big problems, whenever you see these kind of two cell scenario, just simply connect it like this. Okay, now extending this logic in general, okay, in parallel you can write E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 plus E3 by R3 plus so on by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3 plus so on. Like this you can give the general logic when cells are connected in parallel like that. Okay, right? So this is your final story regarding the cells. Okay, hope you have understood it. Okay, so first we have seen cells connected in series, then connected in out of order connection, then parallel connection, then mixed grouping. In mixed grouping, once again maximum current, then you have two cells like this. Okay, now once this entire thing is known, okay, let's just write down the summary. Okay, so I will write down summary of what all I have explained so far. Okay, so in cells while solving problems, okay, problem solving session I will anyhow do it. So your summary is first series part, okay, in order connection if you are doing for identical cells. Okay, in order connection means everything is connected in sequence. Okay, E comma R like this. So in this case your equivalent EMF is N into E, equivalent internal resistance is N times R. Okay, next out of order connection, if you do out of order, out of which P cells are out of order, so identical cell scenario, so your equivalent EMF is N minus 2P into E. Okay, and equivalent internal resistance is N times R. Like this you have to replace with a single cell. Now coming to parallel part. Okay, so when you are connecting out of parallel like this identical cells, so like this you are connecting. Okay, so your EMF is E, internal resistance is R. So in this case your equivalent EMF is E, internal resistance is R by M. Okay, right. Next coming to mixed grouping. In mixed grouping what happens is, if you have N cells in rows, okay, like this totally, here you have N cells and here you have M rows. In this case your equivalent EMF is N into E, equivalent internal resistance is NR by small m. Okay, and you can write down the currents. So but maximum I occurs when, okay, when you have your small m by small n is equal to small r by capital RL. Okay, how much is the maximum current means substitute this condition into the original equation. Here the current value is I is equal to Mn into E by, you got M times capital R plus N times small r expression. So check this condition and substitute it into this to get the I max. I think you will get N E square by 2R or something. Check it in the book. Okay, and next, if you have finally two cells which are connected with different EMFs. Okay, so now final part is, if you have two cells like this, E1 R1 and E2 R2 like this, if they are connected in same sequence, then you are going to replace with a single cell whose equivalent EMF is E1 by R1 plus E2 by R2 whole divided by 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 like this. Okay, if they are connected with opposite sides, then put a minus sign here. Okay, so this is your final summary of cells. So using this we will try to do different questions, okay, in the problem solving session. Okay, that's all.